Beautiful day, but chilly here on campus at Stanford ahead of UCLA and USC. Excellent crowd on hand as usual at one of the premier venues to host college water polo. We look at our coaches in this one. For UCLA, 5 NCAA titles for Adam Wright in year 17, taking the Bruins to the championship last year. His counterpart, Marco Pintarich, in his 7th year, leading USC, searching for that first title since 2018. And we are set officials in this one. Joe Pila, Jen McCall, a couple of Olympic referees. And Jen, just the second woman to ever officiate a NCAA men's final as we get started. Opening sprint controlled by the Bruins. UCLA in the Whitecaps, USC in the maroon and gold. Here's Chase Dodd. Giving it off to Noah Rowe. Shot clock to 5 for the Bruins. Dodd firing and hitting! UCLA with the first word.
The Dodd brothers wasting no time making their impact on this game. Ryder Dodd wins the sprint to gain possession for the Bruins, and here's Chase Dodd, the natural goal. High, higher, highest on the shot, puts it away in the low skip.
UCLA in at 26-2 on the year, USC 23-3. And we'll see an exclusion now against the Bruins. Power play coming for USC. Lopez Duarte along 2 meters now. Good look to the post. High for Kirstich. A race for the ball. And the Bruins are there first. It's Ryder Dodd.
That's the second sprint Ryder Dodd's won this game. Won the opening sprint and the sprint to that ball. He's a speedster. Watch him in transition.
Not even a minute deep in this one. Bodie Brinkema on out of the corner for UCLA. Dodd and Rowe. Double post look inside. USC in and taking that entry away. Good help there from Connor Cohen. If you're new to water polo, checking this out for the first time, some things to know. 4 8-minute quarters, a 30-second shot clock. Take a look at the rest here. You can't touch the bottom of the pool, and those exclusion fouls, they are critical. 3 per athlete, and then you're done for the day. Ordinary, Lopez Duarte thought about it. Brankovic rips the net. We're tied at 1.
You hear the crowd screaming in that background here. And Avery Aquatic Center, a stoic Brankovic with his first goal of the game. All the attention goes to Lopez Duarte. He makes the cross pass. Brankovic with the finish. Oh, beautiful shot here. The little bit of sun we have in the corner there, Greg, on a cold day in Northern California. Great day for water polo.
Folks bundled up here. Pool's the warmest place to be right now. 1-1. Between these two rivals. Entry inside and an exclusion on this end. That's Marcel Cici battling in close. He'll draw the power play, the first for the Bruins.
That's Connor Cohen getting excluded there. Keep an eye on what's happening at that center position the whole game long. Those exclusions will count up.
Max Matthews now. It's Carcelade inching in. Dangerous pass, tipped and stolen. Getting out in front, Lopez Duarte cancels out the power play.
Big stop for the Trojans. Lopez Duarte with an athletic steal there. Watch him jump into the passing lane. Ooh, on his legs, the athleticism to make that happen.
And now Brankovic. Into Martin. Big turn, Whitewater. The ball squirts loose. Tauscher's there. Jack Martin surfaces looking for a call. And we play on.
Sometimes you can have too good a position. Jack Martin turned the ball right into the goalie's hands there, in spite taking on 3 defenders.
Brinkema now inside 5 meters. Moving in and hitting! UCLA up 2-1.
Bodie Brinkema came in off the bench for Chase Dodd after the first exclusion. Moving here in transition, a 6-on-5 structured counterattack for the Bruins. You got to stop the ball. You don't stop the ball, you take the shot, and Brinkema fired up.
48th goal on the year for the utility from San Juan Capistrano, and now he'll get a breather. One of the best rivalries in water polo, these two programs. 4th meeting this year. Trojans took 2 of the prior 3. The exclusion. Power play on tap for USC. They've got a 20-second advantage here. Mihailo Vukacic, now Evan Osmus. Great defensive effort in the semifinal from Osmus. Osmus here, Vukacic with 12. Save, right back to Bettino. Sides are even, advantage is over. New shot clock for USC.
USC going to be patient here and extend the time of possession with the ball.
This is Naipoglu. Right-hander from Turkey. Step out, Kirstic, Tauscher is there.
That entire possession, that extended possession, is all about Kirstic inside, trying to find him the ball.
Shot clock to 5, turn, and not much on it. They went inside to Eli Lathy, and he was surrounded by the men of Troy.
And again, if there's going to be a theme here, Greg, water polo is a game that's played inside out. It starts with your center. What kind of position does the center have? And that creates space or draws exclusion opportunities for your offense.
Quick look here. Bruins crashing. That's a ball under. Chase Dodd takes it away from Kirstic. A lot of whitewater as we move down the pool.
Whatever's in the tank is going to get poured out today. Nothing left for tomorrow.
Matthews now tries to go to Dodd. Naipoglu rising up for the takeaway. Here's Kirstic leaking out. Bit of a bad pass. Bruins can recover. Had that been on point, that's a goal for the big man.
And that's the tough thing. Anytime you're up in transition one way, you're giving something opposite end. And Kirstic here, leaking, trailing from behind, just doesn't get the opportunity.
Luke Nelson on now in the 10 cap. Under 3 to play, first quarter. Bettino, lefty, rising, Tauscher swats it away, but USC will have a new shot clock.
Rejection by Tauscher there. Time of possession, though, in favor of the Trojans.
Little backhander from Kirstic, Tauscher ready, not much on it from the stellar freshman.
Get a second look here. Bettino winds up, swatted away there from Tauscher. USC not very patient with their second opportunity. Give the ball right back to the Bruins.
Who give it right back to USC with an offensive. Tauscher, 16 saves in the win over Stanford yesterday, 9-7. And a couple of stops here early. Kirstic, Tauscher again. They're getting looks to the big man.
Yeah, you're getting the sense that they were looking for that dry pass. Kirstic putting his hand out of the water, looking to get the ball dry in his hand for the opportunities. And they're doing it early in the shot clock, Greg, not using a lot of time to get those looks.
Sherlock, it's Chase Dodd. At 5 meters, goes to Matthews, who's stuffed by Mills, who wants to talk about it.
Mills isn't going to let Tauscher be the only goal he talked about today. Watch him move and take away that near side. The Trojans in transition again.
Mills was huge when USC beat UCLA here in the MPSF final 2 weeks ago. 12 saves in that finale. Naipoglu winding up. Rebound right to Bettino. Vukacic. Under a minute to play, Naipoglu goes the other side of the cage and it clangs off the post.
I'm getting the sense, Greg, that USC is looking to force the issue on offense. They're taking their shots. They're not using the whole shot clock. They're taking what they see. They're taking it early, maybe trying to counter the pace of UCLA to make this a high-scoring affair.
Sherlock knocked down. Lefty goes inside and an exclusion. Working for Eli Lathy. They get the power play. Here's Chase Dodd left alone, walks it in and buries it. Power play strike, Bruins.
Perfectly executed possession there for the Bruins. Starts with Eli Lathy inside of the center position, drawing the exclusion on Vukacic. And Wade Sherlock sets the whole thing up. Keeps everyone patient, finds Chase Dodd. No one to knock him down. Able to walk in, center cage, point blank, puts it away.
First power play conversion for UCLA, and the Olympic bronze medalist has two. His second goal thus far.
And getting some much-deserved rest there. Also has an exclusion against him. So Coach Wright going to protect him, make sure that Chase Dodd can play all 4 quarters in this game.
Shot clock is off, 14 seconds left in this first quarter. Stefan Brankovic. Vukacic, timer to 5. Lopez Duarte, that's field blocked out of play. It's back to the Bruins. With 1 second left, and that will fall short of the cage. That's all for our opening 8 minutes, and the defending champs off to an excellent start. In front 3-1, powered by one of their veterans. Olympic bronze medalist Chase Dodd has 2. This is what is at stake. Bruins don't want to let it go. They're the defending champions. The NCAA Women's College Cup Championship match between Stanford and Florida State is tomorrow at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPNU and the ESPN app. For more information, go to ncaa.com, your home for all 90 NCAA championships. Nate Tauscher doing the job early.
And he's done that all weekend long. The reason they're in this final here is because the team defense they play, and it's led by Nate Tauscher. He's really got a knack for the ball. Watch how he moves here. He knows exactly where Kirstich is going. He knows where the shooters are going. He's getting some help from the post. He's getting help from all over here. And this UCLA defense will be one of the main reasons they repeat as a champion if they can keep this going.
It was this event last year that Nate Tauscher served notice to the larger water polo community. Garrett Griggs had been the starter for much of the season. Tauscher pressed into service late in the year. He starts the semis and the final. What a time to have your number called, and he delivered.
Yeah, and it's like that. But for those of you guys double screening right now, watching some NFL, watching us here on ESPNU, it's that backup quarterback preparedness. Are you ready to go when your time is called? And you'll see it all the time. Steps in, ready to play.
Opening sprint controlled by the Trojans. And immediately, an exclusion called against UCLA, and the men of Troy will have their third power play. They're 0 for 2 thus far.
That's Jack Harlan getting sent off with Martin drawing the exclusion.
Trojans firing that ball around the perimeter. Brankovic, here's Ford. Back to Brankovic, looks away and puts it in.
The nonchalant look on Brankovic's face. No celebration yet, but watch the whip. Vort to Brankovic, catch, shoot, top shelf. That's how you score a 6-on-5.
Second goal of the day for the junior from Belgrade, Serbia. And a smile to let you know he knew that was filthy.
Yep. And I like how we talked about this yesterday, Greg, in the semifinals. USC keeping their emotions in check, knowing they haven't done this in 2018. They don't want to get too excited or too down at any point in the game.
That was something Marco Pindrich talked about this weekend. Getting their emotions under control. Felt like that was something to address after last year's tourney. He said it starts with him. Brankovic, now Andre Gagarovic. Brankovic looking for more, and that caroms off the bar and away.
He's got both USC goals, and he's got the green light. A little bit of a heat check from Brankovic. But again, USC, if they're going to win this game, it's going to come with a lot of goals. Maybe not going to be a 1-8-7. They're going to want to try to score more than 10 goals to win this.
Ben Larson now at 6 meters. Opening 90 seconds of this second quarter. The exclusion on USC. Say Gagarovic pushing the defender down underwater. Outside Carcelade. Lathy, now Dodd. Dodd firing and hitting. First chase Dodd, now his younger brother Ryder's on the board, and UCLA's ahead 4-2.
Ryder Dodd doing all the little things leading up to this moment. Now gets a chance to contribute on offense. End of the 6-on-5, end of the power play advantage, and he rifles it home. Look at this, look how many arms that ball goes through to find the back of the net. That's just straight heat from the young man, Ryder Dodd.
His 96th goal on the year for the reigning player of the year, the Catino Award winner.
Is that a lot, Greg? Is 96 a lot of goals?
That's a good question. If you're watching water polo for the first time, that is a ton of goals.
Yes, it is.
And he is one of the best in the game. Bad pass over the head of Vukacic. Shot clock to 6. Vukacic. Tauscher got enough. Scrum for the ball, and it comes away to the Bruins.
You may think that's a routine save for Tauscher, considering the shot is out from 10 meters. But you've got to know, blocking a Vukacic ball is always going to be difficult.
He can bring the heat. Offensive. UCLA will turn it over.
It's not going to be for a lack of opportunity with the ball for USC. They've had plenty of time with the ball in possession. Nate Tauscher making some great saves. They keep pushing. At some point, the dam's going to break.
Here's Brankovic. Fires that pass inside and helps to draw an exclusion with Kirstic posting.
Noah Rowe getting sent off there. Kirstic doing his job inside, drawing exclusions.
Lopez Duarte, now Fort, up on his legs and rips it cross cage. It's a 1-goal game.
Palo Alto in the house. Literally, Jack Fort from Palo Alto High School, playing for the Trojans now, finishing the 6-on-5 cross cage there. Beautiful shot. Keeping those emotions in check. Getting himself some rest here in his hometown. The senior now has gone without a national championship in his 4 years at USC. Knows the pressure and the responsibility to try to bring one back to Troy today.
Played for the Stanford club right out of here at Avery, and the Atherton club as well, just down the road. You mentioned that USC history. There was a time where if you signed on with USC, you were guaranteed at least a championship at some point in your 4 years. This has been the quest of this man to get them back to those glory days.
What you are pretty much guaranteed is a trip to the championship. As 5 of the last 6 years, a Coach Pintar's team has been in the finals. They are accustomed to being here. Just a little bit of an absence, 7 years, which for them is a lifetime without a championship.
Dodd off target. And now an opportunity for USC to tie things up. Kirstic in again, Nelson firing. Tauscher's there once more.
USC continuing to get their shots. What they can't do is give up counterattack goals. Brinkema on the move.
Here comes Brinkema, looks inside, tipped away, the second effort, and that's denied. Eli Lathy was right place, right time.
The pace remaining frantic, Greg, back and forth. Lots of white water, people moving. Who will get the next goal?
3.5 to go, first half. Nelson with 7 on the shot clock. He lets fly. Took a look, no touch from Tauscher. It's back to the Bruins. Only losses for UCLA this year at the hands of the Trojans. They were #1 for a long time. Big rip there. Mills all over it on the Lathy try.
Tough to beat Mills near side. He gets that near side corner very quickly on his lateral movement. A lot of shots from UCLA so far coming into those near side posts. Mills is going to be all over that. They're going to have to make him move cross cage.
Naipoglu winding up and hitting. We're tied at 4.
Effie, may the odds be ever in your favor. Puts away his first goal in this championship. Little Hunger Games reference for those of you watching out there. Winds it up and skips it home. Great look from behind. Just puts it in the water and able to skip it. Your percentages go up on those goals if you can get it off the water there. Tougher to block the ball. Again, you see it. You score a goal, you're getting a rest for USC. Saving their energy for a 4-quarter battle.
Subtle little fake there. Opened a window for Naipoglu. Offensive now against UCLA. The Turkish national teamer. He had 2 goals in 2 wins over UCLA earlier this year. 4-4 game here in the championship. Lopez Duarte. Shot clock to 10. Here's Cohen. Fort left alone. Cross cage skip right underneath Tauscher, and USC has taken the lead.
We were waiting for the dam to break. The dam is broke. There it is. Fort getting his second goal of the game. We talked about skipping the ball. Going cross cage, he does both. The cross cage skip for the Palo Alto native. Getting to play in his home pool for club. You see the red shirts, his teammates upstairs watching. USC fighting for their first championship in 7 years.
Fort, one of those guys that knows about winning, a 4-time high school champ at Sacred Heart. Exclusion. UCLA with a chance to respond. Here's Chase Dodd. Little peek at Cici, nothing there. And now Carcelade. Chase Dodd at 5 meters. It's Lathy off the bar, long rebound. That'll go out of play. And the Trojans kill off the advantage.
You hear the roar of the crowd there. A big statistic to look for if you're watching at home, following along on 6A Sports Stats. It's that 5-on-6 percentage. How often can you kill off the power play of your opponent? More often than not, that's the team that wins the game.
Vukic in trouble. Ordinary as he was surrounded by Dodd and Carcelade. One minute remaining in this first half. Shot clock to 4. Lopez Duarte winds up. Score the goal for USC. They're ahead by 2.
A bomb from Lopez Duarte. and no emotion on his face. Knows the gratitude of the moment, the gratitude. Look at this, skipping it cross cage. Looking for his first natty himself.
Seemed close to a foul inside 6. He saw a little hesitation there from maybe the defense, but he went right at it and connected.
You like seeing your attackers not wait for a foul there. Keep playing on, keep pushing on. Lopez Aouar doing just that.
UCLA led 3-1 after 1. USC has outscored the Bruins 5-1 in this quarter to pull ahead by 2. Chase Dodd knocked down. 9 on the shot clock. Now 3. Carcelade wave it off. Inside 2 meters is the call. Brankovic just checked with Pinteric. Should there be a timeout? He says no, play on. Shot clock off, 18 seconds left. Ten seconds remaining. Vukacic. Offensive. They'll turn it over before they can ever get a shot off. UCLA, one last look. Tauscher lets fly at the horn, and Mills punches that down as USC turns in a stellar second quarter, outscoring the defending champs 5-1 on their way to building a 6-4 lead.
USC came to play the #1 seed, knows what's at stake here. It's championship or bust time for the USC Trojans.
Let's welcome in Trojan head man Marko Pinteric. Coach, UCLA goes up 3-1 after 1. What changed for your team in the second?
There's no changes. It's a long game. This is a championship game. You play from the first second to the last. They executed very well their offensive plan. We made a couple of mistakes in defense. They punished us. We punished them back, and the game is that it is, as you can expect in a great final like this.
Coach, after a great second quarter like that, what's the message to the team? What's the mentality moving into the second half?
0-0 mentality. Okay, we are starting the game from a second half the way the game will begin, and we're going to play like this till the last moment of the game.
Coach Pinteric, thanks for the time. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Marko Pinteric and USC leading 6-4. He expected a good final. We expected a good final. You're getting a good final. It's a 6-4 lead for USC at the break. We'll step aside and return to Stanford with more after these messages. NCAA championship up for grabs here in men's water polo through 2 quarters. USC and UCLA. That dog smells a tight water polo game about to restart. There's Adam Wright, has helped bring this UCLA team into the dynasty conversation when you talk about some of the great water polo programs in the men's game. He was there as a player, he had a little dip there, and then from 2014 on, 5 championships. That's a pretty good run. Marko Pinteric, he was part of those dynasty years with USC, 6 straight titles in a row under Jovan Vavic. And now, as we said, no title since 2018, but a grand opportunity here up 2.
More realistic in some sense to win 5 championships over a 10-year span like Adam Wright has done. What was just a blimp in the radar here for 6 straight championships for USC to have that under Jovan Vavic and associate head coach Marko Pinteric as he's here now. This is why it feels like an eternity for USC, why it feels like a drought. In any other program, wouldn't feel that way. For USC, it feels like they are needing and desperate for the championship today.
And when you win that many, fans of other teams, they don't shed a lot of tears for you.
No.
When you're not winning on the regular. As we get started in this second half, John Abdut, Greg Meskel joining you from Stanford University. It's USC moving right to left as this third quarter commences. Brankovic has had a hot hand early. That bouncing ball trickles away from Kirstic, and it's back to the Bruins.
Watch the first 3 minutes of the third quarter here, Greg. Always the start of the second half, a chance to extend the lead or come back. USC, see if they can keep the energy up. They've been winning the energy battle.
Lathy along 2 meters. Shot clock to 6. It's Ryder Dodd. Brinkema now with 1 at the horn, makes it count.
Just what the Bruins needed to strike first in the second half. They go to another than Brinkema, who's already got 1 today. Watch what he does here. Goes through, it almost looks like it goes through Gagarovich. Yes, he's trying to get his arm up, through Gagarovich, through Mills, into the back of the net.
Brinkema, part of the USA men's junior national team that took home silver this past summer. Best ever finish at a world championship for the program. Entry here. USC pours it into Kirstic. He draws the 6-on-5. They're 5th. They're 2 for 4. Lopez Duarte, now Nelson. Patience from USC. Sides coming even, a drop and a takeaway. They never get a shot off, and Cici comes up with it.
Kirstic had the exclusion drawn inside to give the power play for the Trojans. Too much passing, missing that offensive aggression that they had in the first half.
Back to Brinkema. Offensive against UCLA, off the ball.
Yeah, that was Matthews on the drive. Over aggressive on the drive. Easy call for Olympic official Joe Pila to make on the far side there.
No goals yet for USC in this third quarter. Lopez Duarte changing that, not this time. He goes way wide. And then in transition, a tangle, an exclusion. Brankovic is out, Dodd is up, keeper's out, loose ball, taken away by Nelson. Big chance for UCLA, and they can't convert.
Big effort there from Ryder Dodd in transition. Tangles up Brankovic, earns the exclusion, but Charlie Mills with a huge defensive play to come out of the cage. Love when you see your goalkeepers make that kind of effort. And we talked about this all weekend long. Look at Coach Pintarich. Calls a quick timeout here in the second half. Can see the emotion starting to brew. Can see his team starting to get away from what they were doing well in the second quarter there. Calls timeout to settle them down.
I asked Pintarich the change here about the emotions, that he started doing some yoga, had to relax a little bit. Yeah. Here's another look. The outlet pass just a touch ahead of Dodd.
A touch ahead, but if you're Mills, you're doing exactly what goalkeepers should do in that situation. Tactically, you should be moving out of your goal in case there's a bad pass, which there was, and he was able to take it there.
We told you all about the last time USC has won a title. Here's a look at recent champions in men's college water polo. UCLA last year. The Cal Bears, talk about teams going on runs. 3 straight powered by Papa Nicolau, the Catino Award winner. Bruins back in 2020. The host, Stanford, not since 2019. And then you see where USC last hoisted the trophy. And those have been the teams that have dominated college water polo going on decades now. The last team outside of these teams to win, you got to go back to 1997. Right. Pepperdine, Terry Schroeder, Merrill Moses winning the championship. Otherwise, it has been this vaunted Big Four.
Yeah, the quote-unquote Big Four, 97. Big shout out to that Pepperdine team. Before Pepperdine, you had championships from UC Irvine, championships from UC Santa Barbara. Those mid-major programs being able to break through here. And water polo is on the countryside, looking for some parity. Not going to get it this year, but we're going to get an exciting matchup as these powerhouses continue to battle.
Fordham Rams helping that case, reaching the semifinals the last 2 years out of the Bronx in New York City. Lopez Duarte, his foul outside 6. Passes it off, he's a threat from anywhere. Gagarovich and now Naipoglu. Firing inside, off target, wanted Martin. Instead it's Tauscher.
You don't get what you want off the timeout if you're Coach Pentarich. That's 2 turnovers trying to enter the ball inside. They skip it away.
Ryder Dodd had that chance foiled moments ago. Ben Lathy. Shot clock to 3. Lathy scoots in, fakes, denied. A race for the ball, and the hustle from Lopez Duarte.
Again, trying to beat Charlie Mills near side. They keep shooting near side. Here's Lathy, several fakes, and watch the body positioning of Mills. Able to cover that near post. He's done that so well this game. UCLA is going to have to shoot cross cage or look to put the ball off the water if they want to find the back of the net.
Now 5 saves for Charlie Mills out of Tiburon, California. Everyone shows up for UCLA. Heavy is Eli Lathy on the foul. That's an exclusion drawn by Martin. 6th chance on the man advantage for USC as we near the halfway mark of this 3rd quarter. Vukacic. Ford, another! It's Jack's day. He's got 3.
And if you didn't know he had 3, he just let everybody know. Threw up the 3s. Hat trick. Catch and shoot. The power play conversion for the Trojans. This is that execution, that offensive aggression they were missing on their first power play of the second half, Greg. They moved the ball quickly, got a high percentage look, a catch and shoot at the end there from a hot hand of Vort.
And a 7-5 lead for USC. They took charge in the 2nd quarter. That 5-1 difference in the 2nd put them in front by 2. And now trying to hold off any sort of rally here from UCLA. Can they protect this advantage is the question. Halfway through the 3rd. Chase Dodd, shot clock, inside, Mills, more of the same. Turns back, Greg Carson.
Mills a brick wall in the game so far. Minding the net and continuing to make point-blank saves.
New shot clock for UCLA. Wade Sherlock, the lefty. Here's Chase Dodd. Nothing available inside. Wade Sherlock rattles the cage and finds some love in the stands.
Big smile from Wade Sherlock. UCLA needed that goal. Trying to find a way to score here. Heavy zone to take care of the centers by USC. What have I been saying, Greg? Shoot cross cage. Wade Sherlock got the memo, got the message. Puts the ball cross cage. Charlie Mills covering that near side well. Goal for the lefty.
Sherlock, another one of these guys in this game with a great resume. Club champion at Junior Olympics with SoCal. High school champion, CIF with Orange Lutheran. College champion with UCLA. A chance today for more trophies. 1-goal game once more. Under 3 to go. 3rd quarter. Brankovic here. As the shot clock winds down to 7, Vukacic has to go back near mid-tank. With 3, big wind-up, and Tauscher knocks it away, but will stay here.
That's a nearly half-court heave. Most people throw that ball, most goalies just gonna knock it down easily. But when it's Vukacic, you're throwing a fastball from half-tank, it still goes out. Goes to show how hard he throws the ball.
It's back to Vukacic. A little closer now. Krstić posting. Instead, they go outside. Naipoglu. his second.
No more guessing for Effie. The odds are definitely in his favor. 2 goals, puts it in the low corner near side. USC the aggressor so far. A well-placed shot. And it does feel a little bit like a USC home game when you hear them score a goal. You can hear the crowd, see a lot of maroon and gold up there, and a lot of loud voices in this arena.
A small sampling there of the Trojan faithful that have made the trip. Always travel well for water polo. And this rivalry works across all sports. The energy's always there. Outside Brinkema. 6 on the clock, goes inside, looking for a big turn, and Vukacic comes up with the ball after that popped free. That was Castillo in close. We have not called his name much.
Yeah, Castillo, an incredibly talented center for UCLA, but look how much attention he draws. He comes in the game, and USC sends 5 guys after him to take the ball.
Brankovic has that field blocked. Ends up right in the hand of Naipoglu. 90 seconds to go, third quarter. Nelson now. Brankovic threads that needle inside, but Chase Dodd defending. It's been a tough day for both 2-meter men on each side of the pool.
Yeah, part of this in the third quarter is USC has now turned the ball over 3 times trying to jam the ball in the center. Those are not good entry passes. It could haunt them later.
It's Chase Dodd, Kirstich late on the play, and now an exclusion. And a 6-on-5 for UCLA. Naipoglu going off, and Adam Wright will call for time, signaling a 30-second timeout.
Coach Rice seeing this as a pivotal moment in this contest here towards the end of the third quarter. You see the off-the-ball exclusion there. Chase Dodd was being really patient in transition. If you're wondering why he was sitting on that ball, it's because Kirstich was trailing behind. They rushed the shot in transition. They would have given up a one-on goalie the other way to Kirstich. They take their time and then are bailed out with an exclusion call. See if they can take it down to 1 before the end of the third.
Bruins 2 for 5 on the man advantage. Big chance here. Sides coming even. Advantage over Carcelati! 1-goal game once again.
There it is. There's the heart and soul of this UCLA team. Tico Carcelati brings the energy off the bench for this group and goes right through Mills. Oof, off the face. A double fist pump. A well-called timeout with a well-executed 6-on-5. Big momentum switch for the Bruins.
Sides had just started to come even as Carcelati let fly the 34th on the year for the native of Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, and it's 8-7. About a 1-second difference, shot and game clock here. Kirstich, little flip out to Lopez Duarte. Cross cage, skips high and away. Nobody touched it for UCLA. And now the Bruins can go for the tie with 16 seconds left. It's Chase Dodd moving in space. Defender giving chase. 8 seconds left. 6. Entry in, tipped away. Dodd comes up with it, save! And that's all for the third. Mills knocks it down again. A frantic finish to this third quarter. The Trojans avoid disaster with a last look from UCLA. But it's Carcelati. Instant energy. In off the bench, back of the net. It's a 1-goal game, headed to the 4th. Energy is high in the stands. We showed you at the very beginning, the minute those doors open, fans racing to get to the right spot here to cheer on their teams.
And this Avery Aquatic Center can fit upwards of 3,000 people. Standing room only in a lot of spaces here today. A great crowd, a great day for championship water polo.
Fourth quarter underway, the Bruins control, trailing 8-7. Carcelati, a big goal late in the third. And that entry's knocked away. Stolen by Vort.
It's a big arm of Nelson knocking that down there. The 6'6" frame out of Greenwich, Connecticut. Disruptive.
11th meeting in the final between these two rivals. Brankovic on the way down, an exclusion. This will go against USC. Brankovic disagrees. Pinterich can't believe it either, but the Bruins have the 6-on-5. Brinkema moving in. Lathy, wave off the goal. Another exclusion. And if you ever wanted to be dealt a 6-on-4, that was the time for USC. They'll pull a goal off the board. And now UCLA will go 6-on-4 after the Cohen exclusion. Bodie Brinkema here. Carcelati, one coming back for USC, now 6-on-5. Lathy got what he wanted the second time around. We're tied at 8.
I'll take it back. It doesn't matter. 6-on-5, turns 6-on-4, goes back 6-on-5. The lefty jams it home, and we got ourselves a tie game, Greg.
Part of the USA men's senior national team. And he's got 44 goals on the year, none bigger, tying this game up. 8-8, 6:44.
I love the expression on the coaches' faces all this game. All of them just keeping their emotions in check. No, this is a marathon, not a sprint. This is going to go down to the wire, and they're going to need all of their faculties at that point.
They'll save it for postgame. Triple team, and a steal for the Bruins as they surround Kirstich, but then a little something extra in transition. They cannot detangle, and it'll come right back to USC. See, everyone shows up there, but then a little extra afterwards. Now back to live action. It's an exclusion against UCLA and a power play for USC. They've seen the Bruins erase their 2-goal lead. Naipoglu. Vukacic! Absolute rocket!
The grad senior got the call for Miss Ketcher. Said fastball down the middle. Threw it straight through Tauscher. That's the heat we've seen all game, Greg. It just hasn't found the back of the net. Till now for Vukacic, he'll take it. The University of Pacific transfer from Belgrade, Serbia, 6'7". Nobody throws the ball harder than him in the NCAA. And we get to see it in action today.
One of the big losses for USC, Catino Award finalist Max Miller. How do they replace him? Another Catino Award finalist, Vukacic, coming over from Stockton. 9-8 USC. They slide back in front. Offensive. That goes against Castillo in at 2 meters.
And that was Castillo against Vukacic. So Vukacic doing it on both ends. Draws the offensive here after scoring the goal before.
Lopez Duarte. Here's Ford having a gigantic game. 3 goals. Vukacic, outside 6. An eligible shooter if he wants to be. Shot clock to 6 now. Firing that pass in. Martin surrounded. A takeaway by UCLA, and now a timeout called by the Bruins. The turnovers, the deflections, it hasn't stopped either side from desperately trying to establish 2 meters.
It's still the highest percentage look in the pool, trying to get the ball to your center there. But USC has been off target all second half trying to get this ball inside to Martin or Kirstich, and yet they still have the lead.
9-8 advantage for USC. You'd expect, John, in a championship, things to get physical.
Yeah.
This one is delivered.
And water polo in general, a physical sport, a grind it out. Some call it the hardest sport in the world. And none other than at that position at 2 meters. That's 2 meter offense against 2 meter defense. Center against center defense, and you see 4 white hats around Kristich there. That's how many people it takes to guard him. It's just like basketball, Greg. When you have a big center in front of under the basket, just draws all that attention from everyone. It's going to open up 3-point shooters. Similar in water polo, you continue to try to feed the ball to your centers because that's what's going to open up outside shots and give you high percentage looks in front of the goal.
And you might see that replay and think, hey, a couple of chops to the throat there, no foul. There is a little bit of the cost of doing business if you're going to be center or 2 meter defender. You'll see the heavier fouls get called. And we've looked at 6-on-5 from the jump. It's such a critical stat. USC 4 for 7 on the power play. UCLA 3 for 7. As we near the final moments in this fourth quarter, 4:59 to play. Goalies have had some big blocks. Mills 7 saves, Tauscher with 5.
Yeah, and with under 5 to play here, the goalies are going to be under even a larger microscope on each one of these possessions as it matters.
Tauscher gets us started. Another offensive. And again, Castillo holding up hands.
Yeah, that's 2 offensives against Castillo in this fourth quarter. And those are unforced errors for UCLA, especially off a timeout. It could be costly.
Held up his hands in disagreement, felt as if he was defending cleanly. Instead, it turns over. Now Brankovic tries to lob inside, a little off target for Kirstich, and the Bruins are there with Noah Rowe. But again, in transition, you're talking about unforced errors. UCLA gives it right back on the way down, and USC calls for time. Adam Wright in disbelief.
Yeah, 3 offensive fouls in the fourth quarter. These are unforced errors. You want the ball in your hand. You want to be able to make these decisions yourself. You don't want the referees making the decisions for you here. If you're UCLA, just swim. If you're coach, you're looking to just swim down the pool. If you're USC, you see there's 4:23 left there in the fourth quarter. That's about halfway. You're like, let's call timeout. Let's regroup. And let's make sure we play 4 more minutes of flawless water polo after several turnovers here in the second half that they didn't need.
These are 2 meter looks. USC first, Jack Martin on this replay. Strahinja Kirstich. The energy there from the Bruins to knock it away, but it's after that play, away from the ball, that the foul is committed in transition. And you talked about it earlier. It's been a theme for USC this weekend. How do we not get drawn in to some of these extracurriculars? That was a bit of the rap on them last year.
That's right.
Was that you could find ways to frustrate them. They would overreact and be the ones to get whistled for something. Up until this point, you've seen they've made a conscious effort to avoid that.
Oh, the conscious effort started at the beginning of the season. It's clear that there's a theme for the entire season here for USC, is keep your emotions in check, stay calm in the biggest moments, and if not, coach is going to model that for us to make sure, and he's doing that with his timeouts, he's doing it with his yoga in his spare time, right? He's doing it with everything, with deep breaths, talking to his staff, and seeing if they can run a set piece here to get the lead back to 2.
No, an exclusion is called against UCLA. That goes against Ben Lathy. 6-on-5 for USC, their 8th opportunity. As we near the halfway mark of the 4th. Over to Vort along 2 meters. Now Vukusic. Bring it back near side. Field block is there for UCLA.
That's what they do. They get stops on 5-on-6. That's what makes them champions in these moments. Look at that, Chase Dodd. Great replay there of him getting the 5-on-6 block. UCLA now just needs to find the back of the net here as time is not on their side.
This will help an exclusion against USC. Power play with 3.5 to go. Lathy pops it to the post inside. First a whistle, they'll get a penalty called. Take the goal off the board from Greg Carson.
Look at the pass inside. Tries to go to Carson. You see Vort going over the top there.
Carson finishes that play. They wave it off instead, 5-meter, and scored instead for Ryder Dodd. Same result for the Bruins. They've tied this game at 9.
That's twice now in the second half that goals have come off the board for UCLA, and both times UCLA converts anyway, looks in, and that's the resilience that they have. It doesn't matter. The call goes their way, it doesn't go their way. They're going to keep fighting through here, and you watch Ryder Dodd. Mills did get a piece of that.
And those are big because there's no guarantee you come back and score those. You're doing all the right things. You can sometimes get snake bit by those calls, but they find a way through, and they've tied this game at 9 with 3:14 to play. Nelson. Entry in once again, and again a takeaway. Martin posting, not a replay, something new, same result, a steal by the Bruins. And now the UCLA Bruins can go back in front. They led 3-1 what feels like an eternity ago. They've been chasing the game since. Ball coming out. Looks like a double exclusion.
That's right.
So Lopez Duarte going off for USC, Ben Lathy going off for UCLA. It'll be 5-on-5 water polo here.
You can see that drive get really tangled up between Lathy and Lopez Duarte. Legs flying out of the water. Hard to tell what's going on. Referee Joe Pila calls the double exclusion instead, and there's a bucket for Dodd!
10-9 UCLA. They go back in front. Ryder Dodd's got 3.
The 5-on-5 opportunity opening up space. No foul needed for Ryder Dodd, and buries it cross cage. Look at the effort, individual effort. One-on-one against Brankovic to put it cross cage. He got the memo too. No more near side on Mills. Move the goalie, go cross cage, put it on the water, and Ryder Dodd making his presence felt in the fourth quarter.
Bruins outscoring USC 3-1 in this fourth quarter. Trojans get the 6-on-5 with 2:18 to play. Brankovic now forward. Swing it back near side to the post. Don't get home. Jack Martin tied at 10.
What a play from the Trojans. Something we haven't seen all weekend long is Jack Martin and Strana Krstić in the pool at the exact same time. Both of them on the post. The lefty, Jack Martin on the far post. They find him right on the hand for Duarte in. And that double post, that's a tactic Coach Pintarch has kept in his back pocket. Busted out here in the fourth quarter of the national championship game.
Martin and Krstić has spent so much time working for traditional post-up opportunities, only to see the ball stolen. Martin's eyes lit up with an opportunity on the post.
And a good tactical move there from Coach Pintarch. You got to look at him and Coach right now trying to make his adjustment in this chess match going back and forth. But They turned the ball over, Greg, 5 times trying to get the ball into their centers in the traditional way here in the second half. Instead, hey, let's try a double post. They put the double post in. The double post draws an exclusion off the ball. And then the double post, keeping them on inside on the 6-on-5, gets them a goal. So a tactical move there from the Trojans that pays off. Don't be too sad there, Bruin fans. Still 2 minutes to go in the tie game. I'm feeling a little overtime probably coming, Greg, too, in this.
Well, you put it out there, so.
Yeah, it may happen. You know? Why not get more water polo when we can in this type of environment?
It's truly been a game of runs. UCLA, hot start. Chase Dodd powering their offense early. They go up 3-1 after one. USC flips the script in the second. A 5-1 effort to lead at halftime. 6-4. Then you get into the third, a little bit more even up. UCLA, they really start to show what they're made of. And that's carried over into the fourth, where they take the lead momentarily. Only by 1.
Yeah.
Margin at its biggest has only been 2. And now we are level again at 10.
I mean, the anomaly there is the second quarter. If you really look at all the games all season long, how many times has UCLA given up 5 goals in one quarter? Not often.
It was a 14-11 win for USC in their last meeting here in the MPSF final. This a much tighter battle. Under 2 to go in the fourth. Chase Dodd. Shot clock to 8. Dodd. Lathy now with 5. Goes inside. Vukacic is there. That length, 6'7", reaching out and knocking it away. Timeout from the Trojans, a 30-second timeout. So they'll push into the front court here and set up their opportunity with just 91 seconds to go.
That was great defense inside from Vukacic. Look at the experience he has. Get both hands up. The ball comes in from Lathy. Look at that big arm, big hand, taking it away. But you can't do that unless your legs are working incredibly hard underwater. Just give them that kind of balance and athleticism to make that steal. See what USC can draw up here. You see Martin and Krstić back in the pool at the same time again on the double post.
Worked well last time. Martin scored. Why not try it again? 1:31 to go. Yellow card.
That's a delay of game from the UCLA bench, taking too long to sub. That type of tactic can be used. They use the yellow card as a warning.
Mills will get us started. Then he retreats. Here's Vort. Shot clock to 12. Timer to 6. Brankovic stopped by Tauscher. 1:06 remaining.
Another save from Tauscher. None bigger than that one. 1 minute to go here. You would think both teams may get one more shot at this before the potential of overtime.
Under a minute to play. Larson moving in. Wide of the cage. And USC will take a timeout with 43 seconds left. 13-second difference between the shot and game clock.
USC off the timeout. This was the set piece. They got Martin, Krstić in at the same time. Opens up space for Brankovic, who had the hot hand. 2 goals in the first half. Tauscher says no. Makes the save. Now USC, let's do a little math here. They have the ball. They all time out. They have none left. UCLA has one more.
Out.
Yeah, this is the last timeout for USC. Now 13-second differential from shot clock and game clock. So whatever they're drawing up here, UCLA will get another chance with the differential here, and they are sitting on that timeout. So expect to see whatever happens here for USC, UCLA to use that air horn and call a timeout.
We told you these two teams are so often in the mix for the title. All-time leaders, the Cal Bears, after that run of 3, haven't qualified the last 2 years. They'll be back soon, I'm sure. UCLA with 13 and USC right there at 10. Had that run of 6 in a row. It took them some time to break through. Didn't get that first one till '98, and then became a major player in this sport into the 2000s.
And USC has won the energy battle pretty much this entire game. You can sense they need this. Not that UCLA doesn't need it, not trying to win, but there's a desperation on this Trojan side, knowing they want to get back to these winning ways. And let's see what they drop here again. Martin and Kirstich in the pool at the same time to go along with a hot hand of Vort, Brankovic, Vukusic, and Duarte.
Officials sending Pinterich back to his bench as we get started here. Full shot clock for the Trojans. If UCLA can get a stop, they'll have one more look. Brankovic. Vukusic now at 6 meters. Over to Lopez Duarte. Shot clock to 9 for number 9. It's Vukusic. Deflected inside Kirstich. 1 on the shot clock. Ordinary called. It's Vort. Shot clock sounds. They won't get a shot off. UCLA takes control and calls for time with 12 seconds to play. Marco Pinterich, hands on his face, can't believe it.
Forget the whistles here. This is the defensive play of Ryder Dodd. Watch as he disrupts the pass. Look at that 8-meter up. That is a vertical leap that not many people have in water polo. Jumps to disrupt that passing lane from Vukusic. That's the defensive play that gives UCLA an opportunity to score the game-winning goal with 12 seconds left.
This is a great shot because you're seeing Ryder Dodd put on the goalie cap. Yeah. UCLA will go 7-on-6 here. They'll empty their net. Dodd will be the 7th man in that 1A cap. He makes the defensive stop. That shot also showed you on that end of the pool, the depth is 9 feet 7 inches. Yeah. He is not 10 feet tall. Yeah. He was legging all the way up to make that tip. And now his team will have a chance to win a national title.
Yeah, high degree of difficulty. But tactical analysis here, Greg, you see the 7-on-6 in a tie game is a risky move. You mess that up, you turn the ball over, you commit an offensive foul, you're leaving an empty net on the other side. So UCLA is going to have to wait till the very last second to shoot this ball. They're going to have to.
This shot has got to come at the buzzer, essentially, because the other side is empty. 7-on-6 to go for the win and repeat as national champions. 10 seconds left. Lathy with 5, Lathy with 4. It's Dodd with 3. Swings it. Carcelati for the win! You know it! The Bruins repeat as national champions!
And who else? Who else but Tico Carcelati? The energy buzz off the bench. The heart and soul of this team. At the buzzer, what a way to cap off the season for the Bruins.
A thrilling finish, all the emotions. Tears from Wade Sherlock. He's been through so much this year.
Yes. The theme of last year for these Bruins was we can do hard things. They did it for their alumnus, Patrick Whoopsie. They have the PW on the back of their head. And they did the hardest thing, which is go back-to-back in an NCAA championship. This time for Wade Sherlock. This time for his family. A good look at him now. Everybody knows what this means for him and his family. Dodd passing the ball to Carcelati. They executed that perfectly at the buzzer. Watch this again. Everybody going to Dodd. Carcelotti slides into the shooting lane, into the pocket, gets it off just in time.
What an ending here at Avery.
Can't say enough about that young man and what he has done for this program and for his team. What a finish. You see it, the traditional cold plunge here, the bath after the game in water polo to celebrate the championship. And heart also goes out to USC as you see these guys. They brought the energy, they brought the poise, and miss it by an inch.
They were right there. An opportunity to take this one. They build a lead. They fight back the entire way. And that's the forlorn look of being just this close. For UCLA, their 14th NCAA men's water polo championship. It gives the school its 125th NCAA title. And the 8 clap rings out here on campus at Stanford.
Wow, the energy that's still buzzing in this place. A buzzer beater for a national championship. Is there any other way you would write a fairy tale if you were one of these young men on how to cap off a season?
You cannot script it any better. 1 against 2, it's what you expect, it's what we got, and it was an instant classic. The UCLA Bruins win it in dramatic fashion. Federico Carcelotti at the horn, 11-10. They're taking the title back to Westwood. We're back after this.